How's it going, gamers? Luis here from Gaming Vlog Network with the 5 games I'm most excited to play on Xbox One in 2016. These are games that are exclusives, games that are only coming out on Xbox One and possibly PC. So if the game that you really are excited for isn't on this list, perhaps 1, I've never heard of it, 2, I don't care about it, or 3, it's actually also on PS4. So without further ado, let's get started. At number 5, we have Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is being developed by ReCore, the developers of Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and the Viva Pinata game. And their most recent game was actually the Rare Replay Collection, a collection of their best games from the past, like Conker's Bad Fur Day, Banjo-Kazooie, and a few other questionable titles. Now, what's really gotten me excited for Sea of Thieves isn't really so much the fact that it's coming from ReCore, but the fact that it's coming from ReCore after they've been revisiting their classic games, and we've seen a lot of information about games they've cancelled before. Where I really get excited about this is the fact that Banjo-Kazooie actually started off as Project Dream, a sort of an adventure game with a boy and his dog, and it sort of had that whole pirate theme to it. Sea of Thieves is all about pirates. So somewhere in my imagination or in my heart, I hope that Sea of Thieves is actually a tribute or a reminiscent look of what was left over of Project Dream after it was fully converted over to Banjo-Kazooie. Maybe Sea of Thieves is actually just Project Dream made in 2016 with a new twist. But realistically, who knows if this game is going to be great or bad, because we've only seen one trailer of it, and the only thing that's got me excited about it is the fact that it sort of reminds me of Project Dream. At number 4, we have Inside. Now, I think a lot of you guys probably heard about Inside and then forgot it existed. This is the spiritual successor to Limbo from the developers of Limbo called Playdead. Now, this game, if I recall correctly, was announced back in 2014. That might be 2015, I'm not too sure about that. But the game was announced for 2015 as an Xbox One exclusive, and it never came out. So my suspicion is that this game is coming out this year in 2016, and it probably just hit some hurdles here and there last year. Now, as far as what I can tell from the trailer, Inside is about a boy who is trapped in this prison trying to escape from the inside, but it genuinely has that whole tone and dark feeling that Limbo gave off when you played that game. So I'm still pretty excited about this game. Very much like the whole Sea of Thieves news, we haven't seen too much about the game itself, but the fact that it's coming from this developer and its previous games, it definitely gets me excited for what's to come in the future with it. At number 3, we have Quantum Break. Now, Quantum Break was announced years and years ago, and it's finally coming out in April of 2016. Along with this video game, a TV show is actually going to be telling the story of the video game to sort of coincide with the video game. So you'll watch the TV show and then you'll play the game and you'll sort of connect the dots between the story. Now, what's really got me interested in this game is the whole storyline. It takes place in a fictional university here in the United States where a time-traveling experiment goes wrong, giving 2 powers to 2 different people, one power being able to control time, as in freezing time, and the other being able to see into the future to make the correct decisions in the present. If you look at the gameplay, the whole time stop feature looks pretty damn fantastic, and it's got me really excited for what's to come in terms of gameplay and the storyline between the video game and the TV show. If you haven't heard about Quantum Break, I definitely recommend you check it out. It's coming out in about 4 months from now, and it's a really awesome looking game. At number 2, we have ReCore, a brand new game that got announced last year that's being developed by Keiji Inafune. Keiji Inafune is actually the creator of the Mega Man series. Now, what got me really interesting about ReCore is sort of the concept of it. We didn't really see too much gameplay of it last year when it got announced, but what really caught my interest was how the core system worked. Now, as far as what I can tell from the trailer, because we didn't get any gameplay, you play as this human girl with her pet robotic creature of some sort that lives by, instead of a heart, this glowing blue core that gives it life. And as these creatures die, they lose their bodies, but the core stays alive. So essentially, if this robotic creature is sort of in a human suit, and that human suit gets torn apart, you can put that core in another suit, let's say a dog suit, and would act like a dog. But it's still the same personality or entity built into that core. I think that concept was really interesting, and coming from a creator of a game that is pretty much all about robots, I'm really excited to see what Keiji Inafune has in store with us with this whole new ReCore game. He's currently working on Mighty No. 9, and now he's working on ReCore, so who knows what he has in store for us. At number 1, we have a game I don't think a lot of you guys expected. Not a AAA game, but an indie game. It's called Cupheads. Now, Cupheads is a very interesting looking game, and I mean quite literally a very interesting looking game. The game is designed to look like a very old classic Mickey Mouse cartoon, and that's particularly what caught my interest because we haven't really seen any games do something like this in the past. Now, I actually got the chance to talk to these developers earlier last year at E3, and the 2 brothers in charge of the project gave me a very good, interesting tale of how they actually went into developing this game and how much effort it went into having this animation style. Now for one, everything you see during the gameplay is hand-drawn, transferred into a computer. Nothing is really digital at first, it's all drawn on paper. Anytime you see a 3D structure in the background, it's actually a real thing. Perhaps a foam styrofoam model of a tower or a building constructed by the dev teams, scanned into the computer and then taken picture by picture around the structure, animating to be a rotating building in the background. I think that's really awesome. Now I actually got to play the game as well, and this game is so much more challenging than what you'd expect. The game is colorful, friendly looking, and very inviting, but the gameplay is challenging as hell. This game will literally have you pulling your hair out. But if the game is too hard for you, the developers actually said they're adding different difficulties in the future, so that will come at a later date when the game releases. It's coming out for Xbox One and PC later this year, and it's a platformer with some shooting mechanics, but what really does sell this game is its unique visual style, so it's something I highly recommend you go ahead and look up a trailer or look up some gameplay. It looks amazing. And those are the 5 games I'm most excited to play on the Xbox One in 2016. Let me know in the comment section below what games you're excited to play this year, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button to let me know. As always, thank you all for being some awesome viewers. If you want to keep up to date with me off of YouTube, you can check out the links in the description below for my social networks or my gaming usernames like Xbox One, PS4, or Wii U. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.